Microsoft may be changing the game for console and PC, but that's not enough. An Xbox mobile marketplace to compete with Apple and Google is reportedly under development.
And Silent Hill is back. We got a whole bunch of new announcements about this beloved horror series. We're going to talk about all this and so much more right now on Gaming News Weekly. Gaming News Weekly is back. We are the best weekly video game news show out there. Every single Monday, we're coming to you on YouTube, Fruit Lab, podcast services everywhere, bringing you all the biggest news in the video game industry. My name is E-Rock the Red. I'm joined by Sir Full Clip. He's knighted now, in case you didn't know. How's it going, buddy?
Pretty good, since flying back from England from the knighthood and everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm a little jittery.
Who does the knighting now? Now that the queen's gone, who does the knighting now?
Sir Charles. I wasn't very happy with that. But I'm a bit jittery as of late because, as you know, we're right around the corner from Modern Warfare 2 being released. And right now, the campaign is out. And I want to play it because there's some exclusives you can get for multiplayer. But I also want to finish this ridiculous atomic camo grind that I started, and I want to get that done before playing the game.
Give up on the grind.
I'm too far in.
There's a new daddy in town, and it's Modern Warfare 2, and he needs your attention.
Yeah, I'm gonna get started on this next round early. I'm gonna start working immediately on camos.
Yeah, right away. That's something that I never do, and I like when watching you do that, trying to get all the camos, because I do like objectives.
Oh yeah.
But I get stuck on certain ones, and I'm like, no, I just want to like where I was telling you earlier, there's not enough time in the day to do shit that you're not having fun with. That's how that's my new mentality about stuff. So I'm like, all right, just got to move on. Just run around with the one loadout that I'll use all the time.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But no, I'm glad. You didn't play any Call of Duty. You didn't play the campaign. You didn't get any further.
No,
what
not
did you
yet.
play? Did you play anything else?
Yeah, there was an update for Disney's Dreamlight Valley. The first update so far added Scar to the little sunlit plateau area. Not real sure what all is in there. I'm not sure if anybody is at this point because it's only been out for about a day, and there's a quest for Scar that takes several days, I guess. So we're not real sure.
Wow. So we're okay with Scar here? I mean, he killed Lion King's father. He's a murderer.
We've forgiven it.
It's murderer.
It's true, but it's all forgiven in the Dreamlight Valley. Ursul's there, right. Mother Gothel's there, so plenty of villains.
Yeah. I know, Goofy did accidentally. He killed someone in a hit and run.
That was manslaughter, though.
Yeah,
vehicular manslaughter in the jalopy.
Oh boy, I've been playing a bunch of stuff. So I've been not a bunch of stuff. I've been playing Overwatch 2 mostly. Just still going to town in that, getting all the sweet. That one, as I just shit on you doing objectives. I've been very objective focused in that game. But it's all new to me still. So it's I'm fine with it. It doesn't feel like a chore yet. But, I got to cruise up that battle pass.
Oh, yeah.
And the other game I've been playing that I've been looking forward to, and I've talked about it on here many, many times, Marvel Snap, the new, it's a mobile and PC game. It's a card game by Ben Brody, the guy who did Hearthstone. And it's amazing. I am obsessed with it. So I do blame this game if the quality of the show suffers tonight. During the time that I should have been doing some research, I might have been playing more Marvel Snap, but it's a blast, dude. So it's a really well-made card game. Everything about it is everything has an animation, everything has a sound, all this stuff. It's such it's just a super well-made, well-thought-out game. The cards are fun. Like, just everything about it is just so much fun. If you're into that sort of thing, like, you know, the
Oh yeah.
card game, the multiplayer card games. But yeah, I definitely suggest, even you're not a Marvel super fan, I get that, but like, check out this game, download it, give it a try. I want to hear what you have to think about it as someone who's not like a comic book guy, because there's a lot of deep cuts. It's not just like the Avengers and stuff like that. It's comic book based, you know. But like the animations, when you like get enough points, basically, you can upgrade your card, and it's not upgrading anything but the cosmetic look of it. And even that is so cool. Like, you upgrade it once, and it does a frame break. So like the picture on it like bursts out of like the frame of the card. If you upgrade it a second time, it gets like a 3-dimensional look, where if you move your phone, like the background moves.
Nice.
If you upgrade it again, it becomes like animated in parts. If you upgrade it again, then it's like shiny, and there's like a whole thing where it goes up to like, and it's such a cool idea, and it gives you a sense of pride when you're like playing against someone and you put out a card that looks dope.
Yeah.
I'm not even close to being there yet, like, but it is it's a blast, dude.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that really like speaks to my '90s kid heart, and I want my holographic Charizard, and Pokemon cards and stuff.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. As a card game too, and then like, so there's a ton of cards in it, but there's only one pool open at the beginning. You have to collect all the cards in that group, that set, to open up the second set. So it's like, you know, it keeps it dumbs it down for people not familiar with this like type of game, or new to this style of game. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. It's a free game. There's a store in it, but it's all cosmetic stuff. There's no pay to win. So very cool. Yeah. So, well, that was one of our new releases. Should we officially get into the new releases from this past week?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's talk new releases. First up, A Plague Tale Requiem came out for PC, PS5, Xbox S and X, and the Nintendo Switch. This is an action-adventure, survival, horror, stealth game. I think I got all the adjectives.
Yeah.
Where like you play as these two siblings, you play as both of them, and you have to like stealthily get through these worlds and avoid these giant hordes of rats that are full of the plague. And then also you have powers where you could like, one of them could control the rats to like get them to murder other people. Lots
I was going to say, I watched the trailer and I thought like you were in control. You're like Willarding those rats or something.
Yeah, I think you definitely have the ability to Willard them. But also if you, if they get you or go near you, then it's like death. Mm. It's like they have like the Black Plague or whatever. And they'll eat you. They'll just eat you up.
Yeah. Looked great from the trailer, though. Like, cinematics, everything looks as good, or just about as good as any, like, Assassin's Creed game out there.
Oh, absolutely. It looks beautiful. And this is a sequel to, I don't remember what the last one's called, A Plague Tale something. But I don't remember what that was. And I never played it because, again, like we always talk about stealth games, I'm not huge into the stealth games, but I always wanted to check out the story because it looks awesome. You know, just like and I guess I heard that the written story of it is really well done. The characters are really well done. This one's getting great reviews. It's got an 83 on Metacritic. They're saying it's, just a fantastic game. So I think it's on the list. This one, the first one, both on the list to try sometime. But I got to get in the mood for playing a game with like just hordes of deadly rats. Like that's not, it's not jumping out at me like, well, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed came out on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, XS. This is a 4v1 asymmetrical horror game using the Ghostbusters guys. Dan Aykroyd and Ernie Hudson are both in the game.
Nice.
So
you got some hands-on time with this one, didn't you?
I did. I played it for a couple hours the other day. So the premise is you could either play as one of the Ghostbusters or you could play as the ghost. If you're a Ghostbuster, it's in a first-person mode. Ghost, if you play as a ghost, it's like a third person. You see the ghost in front of you. And if you're playing as a ghost, your objective is to scare people and like haunt people and get them to like
Get
leave
slimed.
the house. You want to haunt the house to a certain level. And if you play as the Ghostbuster, well, you gotta bust that ghost. So I played it. I had a blast playing as both of them. The ghost, when I played as the ghost, no clue what I was doing.
Huh.
Not a clue. I did there's a tutorial. I did a tutorial, but like, I don't know. I didn't know if I was accomplishing anything. I would jump out there and I would try to scare them, and they would just like the people would just kind of stand there and just look at me. I'm like, this is not working.
Wow.
Yeah, but then I would get caught by the Ghostbusters. I would get put in a little thing, and yeah, it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of fun with it.
Those asymmetrical games do tend to be kind of hard to figure out at first.
Yeah. There's no like, they didn't really tell me anything. Like as the Ghostbuster, there was a much more of a tutorial. So, I'm able to you get the ghost in the beam, and then you got to throw the trap out and then push it into the trap. It's like a whole thing. So that, I was able to figure it out. But as a ghost, I'm out there. You could possess things. Like, you know how like in, what's that Call of Duty mode where you could like turn it, prop hunt?
Oh, yeah.
Where you could just turn into like random things. So I'm like as like a floor buffer, and I'm just chasing people down the hall and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was fun. But yeah, I got to get some more time on it. I'm actually having a great time. And you could like customize your own Ghostbuster, and I didn't try it, but probably your ghost. I don't know. But yeah, definitely give it a shot. Especially if you want to play with a couple friends. Like I didn't even get a chance to play with my friends, but I think it would be a blast. Just like, screaming like, "Where's the ghost?" Like you know. So, all right, another one. Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope came out on October 20th for the Nintendo Switch. This is a turn-based strategy game. It's a sequel to Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which is a very popular Nintendo Switch game. You ever played that one?
No.
Yeah, you're not into the real-time strategy games, are you? Like, I think we talked about them before. And
one of the last ones that I played, one of the Mario, like Paper Mario, it has elements of that. And I didn't hate that. I just, I had no idea that that's what this type of game was until I saw the gameplay of it.
Yeah. So basically what it is, you got like these characters, and you have to move them to designated spots on the board, and then each one of them has different skills. But you got 9 different characters to choose from. You pick 3 heroes at a time, and you gotta, do you battle the Rabbids? Are you a team with the Rabbids? I don't know.
I think you're a team with the rabbits from what I saw.
Well, that looks cool. It's interesting that the Rabbids are still a thing.
Yeah.
It's such a, what was it? There was Rayman characters, right? Rayman?
Yeah, I believe so.
Rabbids. So yeah, this one, it's getting great reviews again. 86 on Metacritic right now. The first one has gone on sale recently a bunch of times, and you don't see those those Nintendo games drop too much in price.
Yeah,
but I think it was like $20 recently, and I was like, I should get it because it has a huge following, but it's not my type of game, the real time strategy. But I think on the Switch it probably is where it feels best. You can just have it. It's not like a graphically amazing game, so I think it would work great there. Last up, Gotham Knights came out PC, PS5, and Xbox S and X. This came out October 21st. I've been looking forward to this one for a long time, and I'm a little bummed because the reviews are not good. Yeah, it's at a 68 on Metacritic. So at the same time, I kind of feel like a little sense of relief because I'm already playing so much stuff that I could just kind of let this one by for a little bit. But so what it is, it's Batman's dead in this game. You play as either Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin, or Red Hood, and it's basically like one of those Batman games. That Batman fighting style.
Yeah, like the Arkham Asylum and that whole series.
Yeah, everybody's got skills and they could level up and that sort of thing. But what was really cool is that it had 2-player drop-in co-op, where you can just pop in, pick another character, and then you're playing, you're smashing these fools. With a friend of yours, and that's the part I was really excited for. And they also did announce that there's a 4-player part coming sometime in November as like an add-on, and that is going to be like an arena, like a big arena, and you go through and you have to do objectives and fight
nice.
people. So that seems pretty cool. But yeah, I didn't read any of the reviews. I got to read some. I just saw some headlines saying that it was just meh. You know, it could have been so much more, and it just didn't impress. So
yeah, I heard that it's got kind of a shallow and predictable story, is I think how they put it. But that's understandable. It's more of like a beat 'em up game anyway. I think looks pretty satisfying from that aspect.
Yeah, as long as the gameplay is fun and interesting, you know, that could save it. But, you know, with these comic book games, story is always pretty key. So that's kind of, you know, that's a bummer. But I'll get it on sale now at some point. Or maybe it'll come to Game Pass. But yeah, dude, there were so many, like, this was one of the biggest new release weeks we've had in a long time. Because I struggled. Because there was some other one. Jackbox Party Pack 9 came out, which is always fun. Yeah. The new Tales from the Borderlands game came out. There was a Warhammer game that came out. Persona 5 Royale, that just came out. So it was like a big week, but I thought these were the ones that we needed to focus on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good lot. Varied.
It is a good lot. All right. Well, let's switch things up. Let's move things along. Let's talk about our news of the week. All right, let's continue talking some new releases. The new releases to Game Pass. The second wave of Game Pass games for October were announced, and they are Plague Tale Requiem. Talked about that. That is a day one game. Amnesia Collection is out now on cloud console and PC, and then Amnesia Rebirth also out on cloud console and PC. Those are both they're all horror titles. I played Amnesia Rebirth, and it is spooky. Have you ever played any of these games?
I tried one. I played a little bit of it, but it just wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah, it's just unsettling because it's all about being in the dark, and like being in the dark drives you crazy. So it was like, and then you start hearing noises and whispers. It was weird. Phantom Abyss is a game preview that's out now on cloud, PC, and console. That's a massive asynchronous multiplayer game that casts players into procedurally generated temples and tasks them with retrieving the sacred relics. All right.
I thought that one
gameplay.
It sounded pretty cool because it's like you only have one chance. If you die while you're in this procedurally generated like temple or whatever they say, or you settle for some lesser loot, you never have another chance of doing that one again.
Oh, what did you see any gameplay of it?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I gotta look. I wonder what is it? It's like 2D or whatever. Cool. That sounds cool. And then Soma, from the creators of the Amnesia series, that's out now on cloud, console, and PC. That is a very creepy game. I played that a little bit. That's more of a sci-fi horror game. It's a blast. There's a lot of good, scary games coming out for Halloween. And then Persona 5 Royal came out October 21st. This is just basically the ultimate edition of Persona 5 role-playing game. Very, very Japanese role-playing game.
Yeah.
Very highly regarded. And then Frog Detective, the entire mystery, comes out October 27th on PC. Gunfire Reborn, October 27th, cloud, console, and PC. That's like a first-person shooter, roguelite type game. And then Signalis is a day one game, October 27th on cloud, console, and PC. That one, awaken from slumber and explore a surreal retro tech world as Elster, a technician replica, searching for her lost partner and her lost dreams. Ooh, spooky. Terrifying secrets, challenging puzzles, and nightmarish creatures in a tense and melancholic experience of cosmic dread. What a great synopsis.
Yeah.
Melancholic experience of cosmic dread and classic psychological survival horror.
I think that's what I'm having trying to get the Call of Duty camos right now.
Oh man, that's got to be like the title on your next thumbnail for that.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's a very spooky week of games coming to Game Pass, and yeah, some games leaving at the end of the month. Alan Wake, American Nightmare, Backbone, Bassmaster Fishing 2022, Non-Guns Doppelganger Edition, Project Wingman, Second Extinction, Sniper Elite 4, and The Forgotten City. So,
don't tell me they're taking my Bassmaster Fishing 2022.
Dude, yeah, you're going to have to play Bassmaster Fishing 2021 for a little bit.
Yep.
Honestly, no joke, I always want to try one of these fishing games just to see like if it's as boring as regular fishing is. No. But those are the new games coming the rest of this month on Game Pass. Let me tell you a game that we're not going to be seeing anytime soon on Game Pass. Call of Duty is not going to be on Game Pass anytime soon. So we're hearing things. So we talked about it last week. This whole Activision Blizzard it's a lot of documents are coming out talking about different things that are behind the scenes. One of those things is we saw a document saying that Sony has blocked Call of Duty from being on Game Pass. So the claim said specifically this: Microsoft's ability to continue expanding Game Pass has been hampered by Sony's desire to inhibit such growth. Sony pays for blocking rights to prevent developers from adding content to Game Pass and other competing subscription services. So, allegedly, Sony has paid as part of their deal to Activision and Call of Duty that they can block the game from being on other, subscription services. Now, we don't know, outside of this little sentence, we don't know really anything. It could mean so many things as far as it being blocked. But, Microsoft's, they're kind of putting it out there, a little nudge saying, look at what bad guy Sony's doing. They're stopping you from playing Call of Duty on this thing. What do you think this means?
It's interesting. I think that this is probably not something that Sony's done in response to what Game Pass is now, because it being what it is now has only been this way for like half a year or a year.
Yeah.
As big and grand as it is with all these day one AAA titles, this sounds like something that was probably in their deal with with Activision Blizzard, because they have had deals for the past like 10 years with them to keep exclusive content and first early access content and things like that for Call of Duty. So it's probably just written in there that they are to get some sort of exclusive rights, and there's no way you're going to get around that to put this on Game Pass exclusively or something.
That's exactly my thoughts too, especially when it says some are saying that the deal lasts into 2024. So not much longer. Basically, just another year or two into this. So now this goes hand in hand with we talked about it before that previously Phil Spencer said that they pitched a 3-year plan to Sony, and Jim Ryan, the head of Sony, said that it was an unsatisfactory deal, saying that we've had Call of Duty on Sony consoles for 20 years, and now you're going to say we can only have it for 3 years, and then what? So we talked about it last week. They're upset about Call of Duty. They don't want to lose Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, it seems more and more like a matter of time with this, if the deal goes through.
Yeah. And I mean, you don't even know, if you're Sony, what they plan to do, and I guess that's the scary part, because it might be in their in Microsoft's financial interest to make sure that it's out on as many consoles as possible, including the PlayStation. But until they've got it in writing, they just don't know.
You would think that it would be like the amount of microtransactions and stuff in these games, just Warzone alone. Does the amount of subscribers that you'd get to Game Pass outweigh the amount of income you'd get from having it available on the PlayStation console. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting. When they first pitched this merger, we talked a lot about this specific thing and saying that it seems crazy to make it exclusive. The amount of money that you'd be giving up from the Sony side of it, I don't know, man. But they're crazy enough; they just might do it.
I mean, it kind of seems like it doesn't make sense to even put it on Game Pass because 60 or now games are costing $70 a pop. The new Call of Duty was $70, by the way. Yeah, $70 per game sold versus a $10 subscription a month or $15 subscription a month for people who might drop it after 2 months. It'd be great if it's on Game Pass. I would not complain because it's going to save me $60 up front. If it goes off of Game Pass 6 months into the Call of Duty cycle and I then have to buy it on sale for $30, I'm still making out like a winner there because I get all this extra content on Game Pass. But right now, I just settle for this being available on the Xbox Store, Microsoft Store, whichever that is. Because unfortunately, at least it is available on Steam this year. But I don't think it's available outside of that and their first party Blizzard.net or whatever that is launcher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's real interesting. I mean, we're still ways away from this becoming a reality if the merger goes through. Even then, after that, I think there's still a few years before we'd see a Microsoft-owned Call of Duty getting, having to deal with something like this. But yeah, it's this battle over this one game.
Oh, yeah.
It's interesting. It's way more. It's more surprising than I expected. I didn't expect this game. I mean, and I should have. I should have expected Call of Duty, one of the the biggest money making games out there, to be something that they would fight for. So
yeah, and keep in mind we have to talk about this in this way right now. This deal hasn't even gone through. Microsoft does not own Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, it's and the more that I read about it, the more I'm wondering if this is going to go through. Like there's a lot of the UK is reviewing it right now, and they are not pleased with it. It seems so. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Another piece of info that we got from the investigation is that Microsoft is planning a mobile store. I thought this was interesting. I thought it was very smart. So it starts out. All right, this came from the UK's whatever, their CMA, whatever, who's reviewing it. They found these documents saying that they're looking to beef up this this store for its mobile game presence. And a quote from the filing is this: "The transaction will improve Microsoft's ability to create a next-generation game store, which operates across a range of devices, including mobile, as a result of the addition of Activision Blizzard's content. Building on Activision Blizzard's existing communities of gamers, Xbox will seek to scale the Xbox Store to mobile, attracting gamers to a new Xbox mobile platform. Shifting consumers away from the Play Store and App Store on mobile devices will, however, require a major shift in consumer behavior. Microsoft hopes that by offering well-known and popular content, gamers will be more inclined to try something new." My first thought, why would they make this? And then I started thinking about all the games they would get in this deal. Candy Crush, Diablo Immortal, Call of Duty Mobile. And I was like, okay, this makes perfect sense. And it is an amazing idea for Microsoft to do that. Just think they'd cut out the middleman. Well, in some ways. We know from the Epic Apple lawsuit that you're never cutting them out too all the way.
Yeah, that's the thing I was going to bring up. I can't remember because we covered so much about that. I really can't remember what the final outcome was or how that weighs into this.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess with this, you would think that there's the Windows phones. Microsoft has their own, Android phones. You would think for that, I believe they'd be able to just cut out anything. You'd go directly to their store if you want to pay. But if you're playing on the iPhone, I think they ended up getting a percentage still of any purchases made within the game. So, you're still not cutting out the big dog Apple, but definitely makes sense considering World of Warcraft, all these games that you can just pop on mobile there and just bam, great idea.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to say the least. It's there's a lot of talk about it being more like cloud focused as well. I'm not sure how much will be like full titles right there for mobile and how much will be cloud based stuff. Because if they can sell you Skyrim and you can then stream it from their service for so much a month, or not a lot of details, very very little in that actual reveal.
Yeah, very little. Again, it's just like an idea that they're kicking around. Now, if the deal doesn't go through with Activision Blizzard, do you think they should still do it? Do you think there's still a market for maybe converting some of their games to mobile games?
I would think so if they do it right, and it is like there's got to be some value there that they're not already giving with this cloud gaming right now, because I'm just not sure if there's a market for it as is. I haven't seen numbers on like what mobile gaming is like for non-mobile titles, the cloud gaming, because we saw Stadia just shut down, and if this is like another version of Stadia, I don't know how much better prospects this has of surviving.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So there's definitely a big market in mobile, but yeah, it just depends on how it's handled for sure. All right, let's talk Silent Hill. Are you a fan of Silent Hill?
I've seen a movie or two, maybe.
You never played any of the games?
2 movies?
There have been.
I think there was one on GameCube with a chainsaw controller that my buddy had. That's the only one I've ever played.
That sounds awesome. I was a big Silent Hill fan in my youth, and so I was really excited. So there was a whole showcase. It wasn't just one game. Like, there were leaks and talk of a game or two, but they did a whole thing. And here's what they announced at this showcase: Silent Hill 2 remake done by Bloober Team. Bloober Team's one of the leading studios in horror games now. Very excited for this idea. And came with a trailer. Looks amazing. Looks scary. You got the nurses, creepy walking, pyramid head guy. Looks awesome. That looks great, and it's all like 4K, beautiful looking. So that one, very excited for that. Then they talked about Silent Hill Townfall. This is a new spin-off developed by No Code Studios, and it's going to be a unique take on the Silent Hill franchise. So that one, there's a trailer, and it just shows like a handheld TV, like going through like these channels, and it didn't show anything, but it has a weird sense of creepiness. Another one, Silent Hill F. This is another spin-off. This one's set in 1960s Japan, and it is it's a creepy spin-off game. I don't know.
Yeah. That'd be a very interesting setting.
It looks beautiful. Like, so this trailer, like, it was beautiful settings, and then it like started like this weird parasite thing creeped in, and it was, I don't know. It was uncomfortable.
Especially if it can tie into like World War II, because we're talking maybe 15 years after those atomic bombs were dropped. If there's some tie in there, that could get kind of crazy.
It could, yeah. And those Japanese horror things are always weird. It's little schoolgirls like getting possessed and killing other people. And then Silent Hill Ascension. This was very interesting. So this is a project where participants around the world can control the characters in a new Silent Hill story. Now, I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's like how like they did like was it like Twitch plays, where they like people decided like how people played like Pokemon or whatever. Yeah. You ever watch those?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's gonna be something like that, but all right, sure. Why not, right?
Yeah.
And then Return to Silent Hill is the surprise trilogy of the movie. So yes, you were right. There are 2 Silent Hill movies, and this will be the 3rd one that no one ever thought they would make, because, I mean, the first 2 were good. They didn't they weren't super mega hits or whatever, but this is in the plans. No information really on that just yet. So, yeah, I'm excited for it though. The first 2 movies were good. They were real creepy. Will you check out a Silent Hill?
I will. I mean, there's a lot of potential there. It's difficult for me to tell like which one's the AAA, which one's the AA, which one's the random spin-off mobile game with all of this being announced at once. But I'll check something out.
Yeah, there's a lot. I think if anything, Silent Hill 2 remake is going to be awesome. The first game, not the first game, Silent Hill 2, the original one, is such a good game. It's a very, very creepy game. And now that Bloober team is doing it and it looks amazing, I think if you ever want to get into a game and be like really freaked out, this is going to be the one to do it.
Yeah.
All right. Enough about Silent Hill. I'm too scared. I'm too scared to go any further. Although we could talk about something even scarier, Netflix gaming. Ooh. They're still doing it. They're still going at it, and they bought another studio, or they're building another studio. This one includes the former Blizzard vice president, Shako Sonny, as the leader of this new studio. So a quote after getting him, they said, "He could have done anything, but he chose to come here." You don't get people like that coming to your organization to build the next big thing in gaming unless there's a sense that we're really in it for the long haul and in it for the right reasons. So they are in it for the long haul. They're still doing it, even though, like, what was that report that said that I think 1%, less than 1% of Netflix subscribers have played the games?
Yeah, I believe it. I was going to ask you, have you ever messed with that?
I did once when it was just announced, and more as homework for this show. But they have, so right now they have 35 games available that you could download. Some good games. I'm not a huge mobile gamer, so it's hard for me. I don't know what their audience is, but there's some good games, and they have another 55 games on the way. So they're all in on this mobile gaming. So, but yes, new Stranger Things games coming out, and new SpongeBob SquarePants games that they'll own. They're coming to mobile. So, yeah, I don't know who's playing I mean, obviously, only 1% of people are playing them, but they're free. Like, they're free to play with the subscription.
1% of all the people subscribed to Netflix is still a pretty large number, I guess.
That is true. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what it would take to get me to go play one of these games, because I see them come out. I'm like, they're just like every other mobile game.
Yeah.
These should endless be runners.
Yeah. These should be with no microtransactions. That should be the big difference. It's like you're getting the premium experience.
That's true. That is a good point. Yeah. So if you're ever looking for something like that, there's no ads, no microtransactions. So I just know that like some of the games that have been out for console or Nintendo Switch that then came out to mobile, like Spiritfarer. I've raved about Spiritfarer before, and I know that's available on the Netflix gaming. So they got the hearts in the right place. And they also talked about getting into the cloud gaming as well. So we'll see what that means.
I guess what would get me to do it is if there's a really good show on Netflix, say like Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I just watched the whole thing. I'm really hyped up about it. If they had some mobile game, like a card game or who knows what, and that comes out about the same time that I could just jump right into after watching the show, I'd probably do it.
Yeah, absolutely. For my style of gaming, I love the card games, the match 3 games for mobile. Like I don't want to sit and have like my fingers on the screens playing like an action game, like a Call of Duty or something. I can't get into those. I have an Xbox and a PlayStation for that, So it's the ones where I could play real quick while I'm like taking a poop or something, or watching a show that I really don't care about. Those are the games I want more of. But I don't know if I'm the guy that they're marketing to, But
they should be.
They absolutely should be. Look at me. Look at me. All right. Let's move on. Bad news for gamers. Good news for us. G4 is being shut down. The rebooted video game news fun channel made it almost a year, but they are being shut down due to low viewership and high costs. I saw one article that showed that like there was like 1,000 people that watched G4.
Oh wow!
It was like really low. And then on top of that, they had like all these big names like hosting shows or being like guests on the shows, like big Twitch streamers that were demanding like $30,000 to like be on the show. So it was a bummer. I definitely had nostalgia for it from when I was young and had cable. Now I don't have cable, and I don't think not many people have cable anymore.
Yeah.
So it's hard to have a new cable network for this demographic. I think a lot of people that would be watching it are using streaming services or pirating shows or whatever still,
Definitely. Yeah, and I missed out on the first go of it back in the day. I didn't have that channel on our cable package, but I had high hopes for this one. And I was surprised to see that it was even an actual TV channel. And I'm wondering if maybe if it would have been solely on Twitch and YouTube, because they were really good about simulcasting their stuff onto those platforms. Mm-hmm. If it were just that and there weren't the overhead of having an actual TV channel, would it still be around? I really enjoyed their YouTube like rundowns of older games.
Absolutely. Even. Yeah. I think honestly, they should have pivoted and just made a YouTube channel. But like, I don't know if you can still keep the caliber of talent that they had hosting their shows if you're just going to be like, okay, this is going to be a YouTube show. Because they could go out there and make their own YouTube show. Like Xavier Woods or whatever. All those people had something. But I just want to read a quote from Comcast CEO Dave Scott. He said, "We invested to create the new G4 as an online and TV destination for fans to be entertained, be inspired, and connect with gaming content. Over the past several months, we worked hard to generate that interest in G4, but viewership is low, and the network has not achieved sustainable financial results. This is certainly not what we hoped for, and as a result, we have made a very difficult decision to discontinue G4's operations effective immediately." So then it says there will be a few dozen employees and contract workers that will be affected by this and laid off. So, bummer. But like I said, good news for us. Gaming News Weekly, we're still doing it out here, baby. We're going to get our TV channel soon.
Oh, yeah. They can't shut us down.
No, we're like pirate TV. And that's all the news I got. You got anything else you want to add?
Got nothing for you.
Nothing this week. I always look forward to full clips. One more thing. But next week we'll keep it here. Keep it locked in to Gaming News Weekly for those other words of wisdom from our full clip. And thank you so much for checking out this episode of Gaming News Weekly. My name is Erecta Red. I'm on Fruit Lab playing video games, doing some game reviews. Full clip is there as well, doing the same thing. And we're both on YouTube. I'm at Pop Culture Playground. He is at GameFax, GameFax. He's also on Twitch, FullClip_FL. And and this show, Gaming News Weekly, it's available on YouTube, Fruit Lab, podcast services everywhere. If you do go to Apple Music or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star review. Tell us how much you love the show. And, we'll send you our firstborn child.
Oh, yeah.
That's how much it means to us. All right. I think that's it. We did the whole thing. I have to go charge my phone because I'm at 1% and I can't play Marvel Snap.
Ooh. Oh no.
I know. I'll tell you the one thing about this game though. It just sucks the life out of my phone. So it's going to be a struggle. I'm going to be connected to a wall until I get a new phone. All right. Well, thanks so much. We will see you guys next week with more Gaming News Weekly.